Hello, everyone, and welcome to Craft and Chat with Miss Craft Princess. I am your hostess, Miss Craft Princess, and I thank you so much for spending a little time with me this evening. I own MsCraftPrincess Designs. I'm a handcrafted stationery and custom gift designer. I specialize in greeting cards and different stationery items. I also have a laser and engraved cutting boards and just doing a lot of things. You can see all of my pretty makes on my website at MsCraftPrincessDesigns.com. You can also scan that QR code that's on your screen and it will take you to my website. I am streaming live tonight on my Facebook pages. You can find me on the Miss Craft Princess side at Miss Craft Princess on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And so I'm streaming live on both of my Facebook pages. And I'm also streaming live on the Creative Spirit channel.lightcast.com, as well as their YouTube channel. So I want to say hi to everybody who's watching. Now, if you're watching me on my Facebook pages, I can see your comments. So you can come in and say hi, tell me where you're from, say whatever, well, not quite whatever, but and I can see your comments and I'll look up from where I'm crafting and I will say hi to you. If you're on YouTube, just leave a comment and I will go back out there and respond to them. And if you're watching me on the Creative Spirit channel.lightcast.com, just go to my website. There's a contact form which sends me an email and I will look at it. Before we look in the goodie box, let me just say thank you so much to everybody who rocked with me last week. If you were with me last week, I almost cut off this finger. Let's see if I can get it in there. Yeah, I had a pair of scissors and they were sharp as they need to be to cut, right? But I nicked my finger and it just continued to bleed. I thought I was going to need stitches afterward. I cut it deeper than I thought, but it is on the mend, still just a little sore. So I'm wearing a bandage tonight, but I want to thank y'all. But let me just tell you, that was my most watched video on the YouTube. Oh my gosh. And I'm still trying to respond to comments from that one. So thank y'all so much. And I will get to all the comments. Now, let's see what is in the goodie box. I'm going to remove my face. I'm going to raise the camera up. And we're going to look at the goodie box. Okay, so here we are. So we have scratch paper because, you just always got to have scratch paper when you're working. We have a embossing folder. This is a beautiful damask print. See if you can see that. Oh, it's so pretty when it embosses. Got card bases. I'm being a little adventurous tonight. Or ambitious is the word I should use. We're gonna do 3 cards tonight. Same card design, but I'm gonna do 3 of them. Have some purple paper, some purple cardstock. I am using this particular stitched oval, and it comes from the Stephanie Barnard Sizzix framelit. So it's old, because I'm still not buying anything, using what I have, but this beautiful stitched oval. I have some Daffodil Delight, a very old Stampin' Up pad, some pigment white ink from Brutus Monroe. I've already stamped the flowers, and this was the set that I used. A Stampin' Up set, and I used that particular flower image, and I went ahead and stamped, but I want you to see the stamp and the ink that I used. But because I didn't have a die, I had to fussy cut, and I just couldn't cut myself 2 weeks in a row. Your girl was a little skittish, so I went on and cut, and I'd stamped and then fussy cut with some scissors these flowers. Okay. And my husband has a wicked sense of humor. And I see that he put this bandage in my box. Okay. So we're just going to put it over to the side. He is such a funny man. Okay. So we'll put this over to the side because we don't need that. And so we're going to be doing some die cutting tonight, and we're going to be doing some embossing. I love embossing, whether it's heat embossing or dry embossing, which this is. I absolutely love it. I love how it transforms a piece of plain paper into just something so rich and beautiful. And you'll see what I'm talking about. So the first thing we're going to do is cut the purple paper. So let me get Big Girl. She is making her appearance tonight. Y'all have seen her a lot. Let me go up just a hair more. Okay. Let's see. There we go. Gives her some room. And we are going to cut these ovals. So I hope that everybody had a wonderful week. Last week, I hope that you've had a wonderful weekend. I certainly did. It was just restful. Yesterday was very stormy. So let me bring that up. I told you it was a stitched oval. See the stitching around there? Isn't that pretty? It's just something about, I just love it. I just absolutely. Hi, Karen. Karen says LOL on the Band-Aid. You know, yeah, he was a little concerned about me. So I tell you the truth, I was a little concerned about me. So, but I'll get him when this is over. So we're going to do 3, same card. This is the Get Well card for the January box. And it goes out on the 15th. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it is my greeting card subscription box where you get 5 beautifully handcrafted greeting cards delivered to your door, your mailbox, be that at your home or at the post office, just wherever you get your mail. If you love to send cards, you don't have to go to the store and stand in the aisle and be confused. And you can just order these and they'll come to you. So we're done with the cutting. And now we're going to emboss. So we've already done the cutting. And I'm going to put these and put this in the embossing folder, and I can emboss 2 at a time. So we're going to just put those 2 in there. Because you know, when I'm hanging out with y'all, time just gets away from me. I don't know how it does that. So now I need to get my embossing plates. And I have them labeled embossing, so I know that they are, if I turn it, these are my embossing plates, which are different from my cutting plates. So, and then what I do, I have this scrap piece because I kind of make a shim just to make sure that it is thick enough to get me a good, beautifully embossed impression. And y'all just wait and see how this is going to look. I just love doing this. I really do. Sometimes I just come in here and I just emboss panels. Oh, let me show you. Let me pull that out. Okay. So this is what it looked like before I embossed it. And that's pretty, right? And honey, look at it now. Look at that. Can you just, I wish you were here to just feel that texture. Oh, that just feels so pretty and rich. And by putting that shim in there, it just gave it a really deep emboss. And then this is the back, which is debossed. And sometimes you can use the deboss side, but that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, that's so pretty. So that's 2. And let me do this third one. Let me do this third one. Just kind of straighten it up a little bit. Put my little shim in here. And I do that because these plates, these particular embossing plates are a little thin. These weren't the ones I bought with this machine. I've had this machine a long time. And the ones that I bought with it, I don't know where they are, but ooh, that's so pretty. That is so pretty. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let me move this out of the way. So, so I have these. Oh, I didn't show y'all these. I have this really pretty card stock. And it kind of looks like a galaxy, kind of done an out of the world kind of galaxy look. And so I am going to put this on here like this. So I could just do that. And that would be really pretty because it brings out the purple that's in that paper. But you know that sometimes, most of the time, let's be honest, I'm a little extra. So we're going to do something a little different. We're going to I want to bring out the embossing. So let's do that. So that is why I have this white pigment ink. Okay. So we're just going to put it on that scrap paper. And we're just going to very lightly, because I don't want to mash down in there. What I really want to hit with the white are these raised areas. Now, let's be realistic. I'm going to get a little in between there just because, but my goal is not to cover this whole thing, like squish it down in there. So I'm just going to put a little white, just very lightly across the top. And what it does is it just kind of captures the raised portions, the embossed. And it just kind of brings it out. Is this necessary? Probably not, but I just like doing something just a little extra with my cards. I had the pigment ink. It was sitting there. It said, use me. So that's what I decided to do. So we're just going to very lightly brush it, not too hard. And then I'm going to bring it up closer to the camera and let you see what we're getting. Okay. So this is it with the pigment ink added to it. And this is it without. Now they're both beautiful. They're both absolutely beautiful. But this one pops a little bit more, don't you think? I think so too. So that is what we're going to do to the other two. So we're going to slide that over a little bit and let it dry a little bit, because pigment ink takes a little bit longer to dry. I'm not going to use a heat tool or anything to dry it. I didn't put that much on it, but it's a wetter ink, if you will. And it just takes, and it can smear, and we don't want smearing. So we're just very lightly, just a very light touch, very light. Just trying to pick up those embossed, those raised bits, and just make them pop a little bit. So it's just little things like this, little tiny attention to detail that, you know, it doesn't take a whole lot of time, but it's just something a little extra that you get with the MsCraftPrincess Designs card. So bring that up and let you see it. That's pretty. And now we're going to do the last one. So again, I am streaming live on the Creative Spirit channel, lightcast.com, on TV right now. Also on their YouTube channel. So hi to everybody there. I'm also streaming live on my MsCraftPrincess Designs Facebook page, as well as my personal Facebook page. So hi to everybody who's watching. I don't know you're there unless you say something in the chat, but it's not a requirement. This is about relaxing and resetting our minds for the week ahead. Monday is coming whether we're ready for it or not, right? And this is just about decompressing and just, you don't have to participate. You just have to just kind of just be, just be. This is like no pressure. I love it when y'all talk to me, but it's no pressure. We're just relaxing. If you enjoy this, I appreciate it. If you would give me a thumbs up, because that tells Facebook to send it to more people. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, if you'll give me a thumbs up, I really appreciate that. If you love it, give me a heart. Share it with your friends. Let them know what's going on here, please. And just keep coming back, because we're doing something different every Sunday. You just never know what we're going to be doing. Okay, so I like that so much better with that white. And that white helps also. It makes it lift off of that pattern paper a little bit more. So, hi, Janet. Thanks so much for joining. So we are going to now put some adhesive on the back of this. This was the last one I did, so we're going to do it on this one. And we're just going all the way around. You could use liquid. I just grabbed this tape runner. But if you have liquid glue, that's fine too. That pigment ink out of the way. And we're going to take this. And I think this is the right way, because I'm looking at this and that looks like a bow. I don't really know if that's true, but that's what I'm calling the right way. And so I'm going to put that right in the center of what looks centered to me. And just kind of lightly push that to the side. We're going to take the next one. And we'll put some adhesive on it. We're going to go all the way around it. Probably would have been easier with my wet glue, but anyway, this is what we're using. Yeah, and I'll just kind of get it, eyeball it, and get it kind of in the center. Just kind of lightly tap it, because remember, that's pigment ink and it's still a little, I see it getting on my table a little bit. So we're going to do this last one, and then I'll clean up just a little bit. At least it's white, so the card base is white, so it won't really transfer. But we'll clean just a little bit. So we're just going all the way around, because you know what we say, a MsCraftPrincess Designs card cannot fall apart. We don't do that. And again, I'm just looking at what I think is a bow. That's when I just love that paper. Let's just look at that paper for a minute. Doesn't it look like the galaxy or something? I don't know. I just love it. But that yellow there is what made me go with the yellow flower. So that So Janet asked, am I still only using things in my stash? Actually, I am. Yes, I have not purchased. I purchased one thing. I don't have it in here, but I will be sharing it shortly because it's a project that I want to try, and I actually didn't have what I needed to try it. But other than that, yes, I am still crafting what's in my stash. I have a ton of things in my stash. Let me show you this. The ink pad that I'm using, that I used tonight, was this very old Stampin' Up! Ink pad. It's Daffodil Delight. So just to show you that I have stuff. If y'all could just see, I did a craft room tour some time ago, and I might have to do that again. Y'all let me know if you'd be interested in seeing it. I've rearranged some stuff since then, and I mean it's always like a work in progress, right? You get it set up, and then you think, oh, and I'm just using some rubbing alcohol. I always keep rubbing alcohol in here because I do sublimation too. And so I clean it. I use it to, clean the blanks, the sublimation blanks. And then if you hurt yourself, like I'm prone to do, you'll have alcohol in here. So I already stamped these flowers, and I've already fussy cut them because I didn't have a die for them. A lot of times when I buy stamps, I don't buy the die. I've got 1,001 pair of scissors, so I'm like, why buy the die? Just cut it. So unless you could like find it in a bundle, but the dies are so expensive, and it just was never a thing for me. But this yellow, this Daffodil Delight, kind of picks up the yellow that's in that paper. So it wasn't too far off to be there. But yes, that was a long way around to say, yes, I am still using what's in my stash. I'm going to do that. Now, last year I was like, I am not buying anything because I knew I had a lot of things in here, and I still have a lot of things in here. So I'm going to try to continue that for as long as I can. I just have reached the state, other than consumables, like I have to buy envelopes, I have to buy paper, the stock that I use for my card bases, but not like decorative paper because I have a ton of that. I have to buy envelopes, bags, stuff like that because I have a business, but just random, let's walk through the store and see what I can find. No, I don't do that. Nothing wrong with anybody who does, so don't come at me. But for me, I don't do that. I'm not about just collecting. I want to use the things that I have. And then if I use it and I don't like it, or I can't figure out how to use it, then I give it away. So the other day I opened the storage thing, and I have this machine called the Works. I haven't used it yet, and I need to figure out how to do that. I went to a crop and they had it, which is like a gathering of crafters, and we are, everybody's kind of doing their own thing. But you can get to look and see what folks are doing, and get ideas. We share ideas. We do challenges. It's really fun. And I saw so many women with it. And while I was traveling with a stamping platform and a paper trimmer and what else does that thing do? A scoring board. This one piece of equipment, this one apparatus did all of that. So I thought, I got to have that. And that was a couple of years ago. So I ordered it. It came in, and I have not used it yet, but I will be using it pretty soon. Okay, so that's where we are right now. And this is, I said, get well cards are very timely. And I said that because this is cold and flu season. And so people are getting sick. And I have sent quite a few get well cards to friends. And I know that I'm going to have some more that I need to send them to. So I've already typed this out and I cut it with my Cricut. And so that would save me some time tonight. But I just typed that out, put the offset on it, and then cut it with my Cricut. So thanks for answering my question. Absolutely. That's why I'm here. I am not gatekeeping. If you have questions and I can answer, I will certainly answer. If I don't know the answer, I will do some research and get back with you. But you know, we're just all growing and learning together, right? And so I am going to put this get well soon right about there. Bring that up and let you see it. Got two more. I see I have an extra flower over here. Maybe I thought I was doing, I don't know. I can use it later though. These are the last, I think these are the last three I need, but for the monthly subscription box. So anyway, if you want to know about that, there's information about it on my homepage. And I will tell you about it all the time. So here we go. Get well soon. We'll do one more. And on this one, of course, I'm using the wet glue because they're so small. But I like putting flowers on get well cards because, you know, a lot of times you can't take flowers into the hospital. Depending on, you know, where you are, there's some countries that won't allow them in the hospital. So this way they get flowers. You can give them flowers and they won't wilt or die on them. So make sure that's turned right. Make sure that one's turned right. That's so important. Of course, if you ever making a card and you glue it and then you realize that you did it like this, that is not a problem. Let me tell you what you do, because I have done that before. I just put it in my paper trimmer and I cut that panel off, and then I glue this panel to another card base. That's it. Easy peasy. So let's get this down. Because if you're a crafter, you've done that just like you've cut yourself before. Okay, let's get that down. And this is kind of shows you how I work when I have to make so many of the same type cards, because I prep before I get started. And so I do all my cutting, all my embossing, all my die cutting, all of that ahead of time, and then it's like a assembly line. There we are. There are our cards for tonight. Get well. Ta-da. Let me bring my face back up, because we, my friends, are about done. So let me bring that over. These are our cards for tonight. You like those? I think that would make somebody who's sick feel really, really special. Of course, we'll put a special message in there, but that's the card for tonight. Thanks so very much for joining me for Craft and Chat with Miss Craft Princess. I will be here next Sunday, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And until then, remember, giving a handcrafted greeting card is like giving a hug. See you next week. Have a blessed one. Bye.